Widens its crackdown on what it calls armed gangs. CNN's Arwa Damon crossed the border from Turkey into Syria today and saw firsthand what they're facing.
This is the campsite located just across the Syrian-Turkish border inside Syria. The conditions are so dire that as you've been walking through here, individuals keep coming up to us wanting to show us just how much the families are struggling to survive. The women here are visibly upset. They arrived a few days ago from one of the small villages outside of just Al-Shughour, and they don't really have much of a shelter either. These children with them that don't even have, proper shoes. They're not able to stay clean. They're filthy, and it's just an incredibly desperate situation. So the kids are saying that they're here just playing in the water, but this is also being used by the adults to try to bathe themselves, bathe the children, and do their washing. And this water is not clean by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, it's so murky, it looks more like a stream of mud. This is something of a makeshift pharmacy that's been set up inside the camp, if it can even be called that. Muhammad, who brought most of these medicines, owned the pharmacy itself in just Al-Shughour, and he piled everything that he possibly could as he was fleeing. And he's choosing to stay here because the people desperately need his help. He's the only person that they can go to for any number of illnesses that people are suffering from here, especially the children, given the rough weather conditions that they've been having to deal with. So this woman who just arrived, apparently, we were being told, has high blood pressure and she's diabetic. And those, for example, are two medicines that he quite simply does not have. This is what this family has to cook on, and you actually don't see this level of so-called luxury at every single small campsite. The tents, crude, a tarp strung between two sticks, various vehicles. You see them strung between the trees as well. Laundry scattered all over. The families crouching and waiting. And when we've been asking them about what they witnessed, they simply, for the most part, say it was too horrific to put into words. And the next thing they want to know is when will they be able to go home, because none of them have that answer. Arwa Damon, CNN, near Khateeb in Syria.
And Michael Holmes joins us now to talk a little bit about this. That's incredible. I mean, she was able to cross that border.
She did, yeah,
from
on
Turkey.
The quiet. Of course, international journalists are not allowed into Syria, and Arwa worked with some people. We're not even saying how she did it,
so
but she got in there. She's extraordinary. She speaks Turkish, Arabic, French, English, and she got across there. And it is our first look on our own at these camps and how these people are living. Up to 7,000 people now have crossed over, that's on the Syrian side, have now crossed over into Turkey, and the Turkish authorities having to deal with that, putting a lot of pressure on them.
When you see the conditions, in the camp, I mean, the government says that it's targeting groups that have been firing on security forces too. I mean, it is just an awful situation.
Well, this is the thing too, that because foreign journalists aren't in there, we don't know what's going on, whether it's an armed rebellion, whether it is the peaceful protests that we've been told about, how much of a role the desertions are playing, and whether you really do have military versus military in Syria. And the fear too is that this could become more and more sectarian. Al-Shughour that we've been looking at is Sunni. There's an Alawite town only a mile away. Of course, the ruling regime is Alawite as well. Got that mixed in with Kurds and Christians. It's a very volatile mix of different religious ethnicities as well.
Well, it's incredible that she got in there, and great to have you here as well to talk with us about it. Thank you, Michael. Feeling like air travel is putting a big dent in your wallet, maybe?